Boy, have you ever really wanted to kick all the rich people out of your country or, make them just want to leave? Well, Bernie Sanders is a plan for you. Billionaires could face tax rates up to 97.5% under Sanders. Billionaires may have much more to fear from a Bernie Sanders presidency than they do from Elizabeth Warren administration, according to the two economists advising both candidates. That's one of the conclusions of a new interactive website developed by University of California, Berkeley professors Emmanuel Saez and Gabriel Zuckman. If Sanders had his way, they'd calculate that the 400 richest Americans on average would have an effective tax rate of 97.5%. That includes not only their income, but also a wealth income tax that whittles away at their family fortune. 97.5% average effective tax rate under its plan compares to 23% now and 62% under Warren's proposals, according to the two economists. The candidates' plans diverge widely when it comes to taxing the 1% of the top earners, and this is just a chart between Biden, Warren, Sanders, and Trump. It doesn't specify here. I don't know if Bernie has put it out there or not, what this goes to. If this is just an income tax, I assume it has to be more than that. Because if it's just an income tax, I mean, your random billionaire could make nothing. He could make $30,000 a year, and sure, go ahead and tax that. I have to assume this includes everything. There's also an asset tax, it says after this. It has to include all of the money they make off of dividends and things like that. But if they do, if you're going to tax 97.5%, I mean, even Warren's is insane. 62% is very high. I would say that what we do now, 23%, is pretty crazy low too. They could bump that up a lot, but going to 97.5% is how you get people to leave. When you tax the middle class, they can't do anything about it. Even upper middle class, they can't do anything about it. They can move, but if it's countrywide, they can't do anything. But billionaires can leave. Even millionaires have things that can tie them down. But when you're talking about billionaires, you're telling me other countries wouldn't want them? This isn't like the random citizen who's like, I want to move to Japan, and Japan's like, no, bro, you can't just leave. We're talking about people who, if they don't want tomorrow, if they want to tomorrow, any country in the world would accept them and accept their business. Anyway, let me read on. Sanders and Warren have both pitched wealth taxes, which includes a key reason that their plans tax billionaires so much more. Warren's wealth tax places a 2% levy on fortunes above $50 million and a 3% levy on assets more than $1 billion. Sanders' plans goes further and starts taxing wealth of $32 million at 1%, increasing to an 8% tax on fortunes above $10 billion. With the wealth tax, you get directly at the stock instead of holding or hitting the flow of income, making it much more powerful deconcentration tool than income taxes. Sayers said in an email about Sanders' tax, which Sanders has said would cut the number of billionaires in the country in half in 15 years, which I guess he thinks is a really good thing. That's a major drop. This isn't like, in 30, 40 years, we'll come back down to normal levels. This is, we're going to chop it in half in 15 years. When you act that fast, the people just leave. You know what you're going to do? You're not going to chop it in half in 15 years. You're going to completely neuter it. If there's going to be any left, it'll be like 10% of them left because they're just going to leave. Why do you think doing it this fast would make any sense? The calculations by Saez and Zuckman cover state, local, and federal taxes and also treat healthcare premiums that individuals pay as tax, arguing that they are one of the main drivers in the inequality in the U.S. If a Democrat wins in 2020, wealthy Americans would fare best if it were Joe Biden, even though the former president would hit the rich with a markedly bigger tax burden and an effective average rate of 30.6, or more than 7% points higher than now faced under President Donald Trump. Large tax increases on the rich have been a key topic in the 2020 Democratic primary, as candidates have looked for proposals that would lessen inequality and raise lots of revenue to pay for expensive social programs such as expanded health care and free college tuition. I'll finish reading it just right now. The Economist released an interactive website Sunday that lets users select different tax rates to see how the levies on various income groups are increasing. All major Democratic candidates have called for higher taxes on the wealthy, including raising income taxes rates or increasing levies on capital gains income. Sanders, Warren, Senator Kamala Harris have also floated levies on stock and bond trades. Taxes on wealthy have been historically popular with voters for decades. A majority of polls have shown that people think that the wealthy pay too little in taxes. Gallup poll in April found that 62% say the upper income individuals pay too little in taxes. While this is all true, and I did speed through all that, sorry. I was talking a little fast. They do pay too little in taxes. I'm not some guy that's pretty heavy on that. I don't want to burden down the rich just because they're rich. I mean, they're crazy rich. Like billionaires are crazy rich, but you can't just go take all their money. You can't tax their stocks and bonds. You can't specifically target their fortunes. That way they can't give it to their family. A lot of times this stuff goes to like charities and goes to their surrounding region. A lot of this gets put back into there's a million reasons this money doesn't just sit there. These people think that they're Scrooge McDuck and they're just floating on money. When a lot of these billionaires, they have it in assets and they have it in other stuff that isn't just, they can't just pay taxes on it. That's just not how it works. And if that's the case, they're just going to leave. I mean, you can increase taxes, and I agree that we should at some point. 23% is probably way too low, but it does incentivize companies to reinvest in themselves, which is why people get richer. And you can say that it's a bad thing, I guess, to get richer. I guess you can say that, but when you get richer, it helps the people in your companies, and you get to pay them more. And I mean, there's all kind of arguments on whether that's actually what happens, or if it's just these companies create thousands of jobs. The owner of Amazon is one of the people they target with this kind of stuff, and every year you hear about a new Amazon warehouse opening up in your city, creating hundreds of jobs and all kinds of revenue, millions of dollars in revenue every year to just injected in places because he has the money to reinvest. But that doesn't matter, I guess. Like I said, we can increase these taxes, but 97.5% is just insanity. And then on top of that, taxing your wealth as in general and your assets. Look, man, they're gonna get slaughtered on this kind of stuff. But anyway, that was just a quick video I wanted to make on this. You guys let me know what you think on this 97.5% tax rate. And then also the Elizabeth Warren, who is saying, what was it, 62%, which is also pretty high. I mean, I think a lot of countries are up to like 50% or something like that, even higher for billionaires, but that's still crazy. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
My name is Gavin Lee, and this is my channel, LeeCast. Thanks for watching. I put out videos most days on current events, politics, and more. Please subscribe and give me advice on more of what you'd like to see and help me build this channel into not only a source for all things political and current for you, but also a place less polarized by political insanity, a whole lot more common sense and discussion, and a lot less two-party bias. Subscribe below and comment on what you'd like to see. Thank you.